MicroAlgo had a reverse stock split today. In this video, we're going to do some technical analysis. I'm going to show you what happens post a reverse stock split and what to expect based on the short float information, and if we can potentially see a short squeeze happen coming forward in the next few days. So in the video that I posted about 2 days ago, one of the main things I told you to look out for is this double bottom at 50 cents, and price adjusted, that would be exactly what's happening right now at $14.77. So this double bottom is a great sign. What we want to see is that it hold this price point by market close today, which would be a great sign. It would mean that this price point is acting as a great support, and then if the price starts to rally up, we can see a potential short squeeze. And I'm going to show you exactly what usually happens post a reverse split, but I saw a few comments where people don't really understand what a reverse split means. So I'm going to show you that real quick. I know a lot of you do know what that means, but I'll just do it really quick. So in this video, you can see that it had a bottom at about 50 cents. So we'll use that number to make everything simple. So all that means is that if you multiply the 50 cents by 30, you get the price of $14.88. If you, for example, if you own 30 shares at 50 cents, now you own one share at the price point of $15. That's all it means. The market cap is the exact same. The chart looks exactly the same. The only thing that changed, and your value of the stock is also exactly the same. The only thing that changed is that for every 30 shares you had previously, you have one share, but the price is exactly the same. So now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at some information. So I'll show you real quick. You see the short float is still incredibly high, and I was looking at some other data right here. This is last updated about like 2 weeks ago. This isn't adjusted for the new number of shares. So another thing that happens is that there is, now that there's a 32-1 reverse split, there's 30 times less shares of this stock on the market, which is also a good sign because it puts a lot more pressure on the stock to rally. There's less shares available for people to buy, which will, if people start buying the stock up, it'll put pressure on the stock price to keep rallying up. And if it rallies up to a certain point, the short sellers have to cover their positions, which will cause a short squeeze. But one thing I want to show you is the short ratio is still relatively. So what this means, if you don't know, the short ratio is like how long it will take short sellers to like cover their short position, and 0.36 is like 0.36 days. Like if it said one, then it would take them 1 day. So it would take them less than a day for them to cover their position. So I want you to tread very lightly. I'm not telling you what to do. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So I'm actually taking a position, like I said in my previous video, at this price point because of the double bottom. And if it closes above this, like if it closes above $15, that's an incredible sign. I expect fireworks coming Monday. So, but tread lightly. I'm just giving you the information, and do with that information what you will. But if it does start to short squeeze and rally, I don't think the short squeeze will last very long. It'll maybe last a day or a day and a half because the short ratio is relatively low, and the short sellers can cover their positions fairly quick. Let's take a look at what happened after previous reverse split. So here on December 13th, we had a 1-to-20 reverse split, and let's see what happened. So after 13 days, 8 bars. So that's about like, say, like a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So approximately after a week and a half, we had a massive rally of 300%. So on the chart, it doesn't look like, visually doesn't look like a lot, but a 300% rally in like 4 days is massive. So let's take a look at what happened after the stock split prior to that. So on March 22nd, we had a 1-to-10 reverse split, and pretty much for that one, like the next day, so that was on a Friday, which is similar to what's happening today. It's on a Friday. So on a Monday, it had a massive, 40% rally. It wasn't really a short squeeze by technical means, but still a massive rally and massive opportunity to, like, get some gains. Here, the actual short squeeze didn't happen until like almost 2 months later, where we had the first massive, like, insane rally of like almost 700%. So again, you can't predict exactly when it will happen. This is just, I'm showing you examples. Usually if you look at like what happens historically and why like a short squeeze happens post reverse split, is because there's less share on the market, and if the price does start to rally, it causes more pressure on the short sellers to cover their position. But now at around $15, the stock is NASDAQ compliant and it just looks more appealing to broader investors, which usually causes more people to come in and buy, and short sellers have to cover their position, hence a short squeeze. But having said that, also to note, the market cap would be still the same as when I was trading at around 50 cents. The market cap is the same, but the price, the actual price, makes it more appealing to more investors because it's no longer just a penny stock. So now let's take a look at the moving averages. This is the 20-day moving average. As you can see, it's doing a little, it's on the cusp of a trend reversal. And if the price trades above $22, say next week, then it would reverse trend completely. So, and now let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour chart also looks really good. As you can see, like it's on the cusp of a cross between the 20 and 50-day moving average, which is also a good sign. So again, nothing is financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. As I predicted in the previous video, I was waiting for it to do a double bottom, which I had an alert set for. And since it did hit the double bottom, I'm taking a position. Ideally, I should wait until the end of, like, right before the market ends to make sure it's closing above this $15 mark, but I feel pretty comfortable. So I'm personally taking a position because this price point is acting like a really strong support. So even next week, like even if it just fills this gap, like even if it just barely fills this gap, it's still 100%. You could like I could potentially double my money next week if it doesn't have to do a short squeeze or a mini short, nothing. If it the only thing it does is just fills this gap, then I'm looking at like 100% profit. So I feel really comfortable taking a position at this price point. And just like I showed you, historically post a reverse split, there's a really good chance of the stock rallying and potentially a short squeeze. So I hope all the information I gave you was helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on your post notification, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.